All right, without further ado, it is time for Producer's Picks.
And now, the feature so many of our listeners wait for each day. Producer's Picks.
Now, Jared Diglio is my producer. He's on the board. And I gotta say, Jared, I've got about 10 stories here I didn't get to, so I'm hoping some of your picks include a couple of these. Maybe Mr. Potato Head, perhaps?
Yes, we actually have a couple stories about world problems being solved.
Okay, awesome. Take it away, sir.
First of all, the gender issue is solved.
Oh, good.
Everything is good. Mr. Potato Head. Some people may remember the Mr. Potato Head toy that's been around forever. It's a plastic potato, and you can put eyes and ears and all those things on it. Well, Mr. Potato Head.
In a top hat.
Has gone gender neutral. Much to the delight of underrepresented potatoes everywhere. Hasbro has announced that they are doing a gender neutral potato head. It's still going to be potato head. They're just removing the Mr. from that.
I'm just picturing all the potatoes taking such a deep sigh of relief.
Yes.
Like, finally.
No word on what happens to the now widowed Mrs. Potato Head.
Were you, now if you had to pick one, were you a Mr. or a Mrs.?
I was always a Mr. Mr. Potato Head, Pac-Man, didn't like Pac-Woman.
I liked Mrs. Potato Head. She had crazy lips. He had kind of a weird smile, but she had the crazy big lips.
Yeah, she had like those fake like wax lips.
Well, this is great news. I mean, gender neutral. Isn't it just a potato then?
Yes,
I feel like everything that made Mr. Potato was kind of male oriented, like the top hat.
Yes.
The mustache. So now it's you just get the potato with no accessories?
Yes, you get a potato with no accessories. I do have to say, though, the following this on Twitter was my first introduction to Brian Stelter being called Mr. Potato Head.
Really? That was your first time hearing
I hadn't seen that before. That is some pretty funny stuff.
I have to say, though, at this point, Jared, if you're buying, if someone has a kid and they're buying them Mr. Potato Head and it's just basically now potato, you kind of should go with the more economical route and just buy a potato. Potatoes are super cheap. You can get a whole bag. Say, forget Mr. Potato Head. Son, I'm giving you the entire town. This is Potato Village. And you just hand them a huge bag of potatoes. And it will last forever. Or for a couple months. And then it will start growing things. I don't know. Just an idea.
More societal problems solved from the Chinese leaders, the people that brought you. No, it definitely nothing happened in the lab over here. Comes a declaration from the Chinese Communist Party that they have ended rural poverty in their nation.
Wow.
One, I can totally believe that. Two, they also don't mention how they ended rural poverty.
Details.
In the nation. You know, they just come out and say, hey, we did it. It's kind of like, the website didn't work, but it didn't crash.
Right. Semantics.
Yeah, it's just semantics.
That's a big statement, but you know what? If they say it, according to the mainstream media, when they announced their COVID death rates and, the great progress they were making with vaccinations, CNN, MSNBC, they all took that at face value. So I don't know why we should question this.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be fanning the flames of misinformation.
And good news or bad news, depending on how you feel on this, Frasier is actually coming back to TV. They're doing a second Frasier series. Kelsey Grammer will return to reprise his role of Dr. Frasier Crane. It's going to be about the next chapter in his life. There's no word on whether the rest of the cast, well, obviously his father passed away in 2018, so he won't be there, but there's no word on whether the rest of the cast is there. Frasier Part 2. Was Frasier a good show?
Okay, this is how I feel about Frasier. I did not watch it, but people who do watch it, this is like the Taylor Cormier hour here, but Taylor's a big fan of the show. He tells me it's very, very funny. I do really like Kelsey Grammer. I think he's very talented. He also happens to be a huge conservative, which
well, then this is going to last 2 episodes before it gets canceled for some reason. Don't get too excited.
But no, the actors on that show, I see clips sometimes, old clips, and they were very good. And the show had a rhythm. I would give it a chance. I should probably go back and watch the original. But, I mean, they're rebooting everything else, so why not reboot this?
I also enjoyed Frasier. I thought it was a good show.
I'm not really... There was someone named Grace in it, wasn't there? No? Maybe I'm thinking Ferris Bueller. I thought the girl's name was Grace, who was in the radio biz with him.
Oh, his producer? No, her name was
Mary? Whatever. But my point is that in general, I'm not a fan of reboots.
Roz. Her name was Roz.
Roz. Yeah, maybe I just really connected with her, but I don't actually know why. I generally don't like reboots, but sure, give Frasier the reboot. He's a conservative. Get one of us on TV.
So we mentioned the Neera Tanden stuff, Biden's
OMB
nominee, and her nomination is in jeopardy because of a series of awful things she did on Twitter. So Eric Swalwell had to hop in on here because Neera Tanden is Indian American.
Yes, I saw this.
And his tweet, I represent one of the largest Indian American districts in the U.S. How do I look at what's happening to Neera Tanden and tell little girls of South Asian descent that they'll have the same opportunities in life as white men? The answer, I can't. And that's a shame. Now, if I'm Eric Swalwell, I'm probably going to take a step back from talking about Asian women for a while. Just, just as kind of a personal choice in my life.
One would think, and the amazing part of a lot of these situations where the politicians step in it is that they have to write it out. You know that expression Howie always says, if you don't have to write it, say it. If you don't have to say it, wink it. If you don't have to wink it, nod it. Writing something out gives you a hyper awareness of what you're about to say. You have to put it down. So I'm always amazed when they're typing this out on their iPhones while getting their Starbucks coffee that not at any point does the self-awareness light bulb ding and they go, maybe not. But no, they send them out 10 out of 10 times and they get dunked on 10 out of 10 times. Really amazing.
And we don't have time to get to it today, but a tease for tomorrow's producer picks.
Ooh.
The Los Angeles Times has ranked the 10 best Girl Scout cookies.
I was having this debate with someone today whether or not Girl Scout cookies are overrated.
We shall discuss tomorrow in producer's picks.
Yes, indeed. You all have that to look forward to. That's a little tease for you guys for tomorrow. If you haven't tried Super Beets Heart Chews, you're missing out. I might think Girl Scout cookies are overrated, but I do not think Super Beets are. They are absolutely delicious. They're great if you have bad circulation or if you have high blood pressure or if you just get a little bit tired in the afternoon, you want a little boost, but you don't want to start drinking an extra cup of coffee and feeling all anxious and jittery. Super Beets Heart Chews combine non-GMO beets with a powerful new ingredient, grape seed extract. The grape seed extract used in Super Beets Heart Chews has been clinically shown to be 2 times as effective at supporting normal blood pressure as a healthy lifestyle alone. Better blood pressure means more energy, the way nature intended, without the jittery caffeine or stimulants. Now you can take 2 delicious chews a day, anytime, anywhere. I'm actually going to hold up this bag and I'll show you guys on YouTube. They come wrapped up like a Starburst almost. So you don't have to worry about mixing anything or if you throw them in your bag, they're totally fine. And get blood pressure support that you need and the energy you want. Do what I did and support your heart health with delicious Super Beets Chews. Get Super Beets Chews today at getsuperbeets.com/grace. When you buy 2 bags, they'll throw in a third for free. That is getsuperbeets.com/grace. We'll be back on the other side with Howard Lawrence Carr. Do not go anywhere. This is the Grace Curley Show.
Follow Grace on Twitter at @G_Curley.